Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF Bets race of the day for Thursday, October the 17th, race number 8 at Keeneland. It is the Grade 3 Sycamore Stakes. We are going 1.5 miles on the turf, a big full field. Remember that those Keeneland clocker reports are available throughout the entire fall meet. Thursday's card already up, drf.com/Keeneland. DRF ace clocker Mike Welsh and his fantastic team of clockers. They grade all of the workouts leading up to these major races. A perfect complement to your daily racing form past performances. Here is the field for the Grade 3 Sycamore, and you can download free Formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Access them and handicap along with us. It is a full field. Chad Brown has the 8-5 morning line favorite in focus group. He is a one-run closer, as we will see from the Timeform US pace projector. And Mike, I think this pace projector is, kind of a guess. Marzo is expected to make the lead. He's not the fastest horse in the world. I think 2 or 3 horses could make the lead. I think the pace will be fair to slow.
Yeah, I'm not expecting a big pace in this race. Maybe it hurts morning line favorite focus group, and maybe it doesn't. But, he is a horse who's going to need at least a little help if he's a
horse that has a little bit of tactical speed is the number 1 Chanji. Whether he's good enough to win this race, a 3-year-old taking on older horses at 50-1 is a different story. He at least pushed a solid pace last time out in the Bald Eagle Derby, but really didn't finish that race off in between horses and is now taking on tougher, older rivals.
Yeah, he's a big price on the line. I won't knock him. It just looks like he's in real tough here.
Midnight Tea Time, the number 2. I think if he goes in this race, he's going to try to make the lead. He won last time out at Kentucky Downs going 1 mile. Going to try to stretch all the way out to 1.5 miles. And I guess he ran okay at 1 3/8, 2 starts back at Saratoga. This is start number 19. This is also his first start in a stakes race of any kind. And it's also, again, questionable whether he's going to run here. He is cross-entered to Keeneland on Friday.
Yeah, we'll see if they elect to try him in this tougher race. It will be tough for him. On the positive side for him, his last 2 races, probably the 2 best he's ever run.
Michael Maker's done it again, Mike. The number 3 Space Mountain was claimed for 62.5 in February, and Maker has turned this horse into a stakes winner. He won the Remington Green last time out going 1 mile and 1/8, and we're watching the race right now. He got a big pace set up, and he's on the far outside, and he's going to run down a pretty good horse in Mr. Misunderstood. Yes, the pace helped Space Mountain, but again, we've seen Maker stretch these horses out in distance, and they continue to improve, and this is Space Mountain's first race really stretching out in distance.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he handles it. He has, maybe he's improved a little bit for Maker. He was always a pretty nice horse for his prior connections as well. Never really felt like a great stakes kinds of horse, but Maker's done this several times in the past.
Nakamura is the number 4 in here, and Nakamura, we liked his race 2 starts back at Saratoga. He was far back, and he made this really brilliant inside mid-race move to get into the race, and then he was able to sustain that move once into the stretch to run down Midnight Tea Time. Last time out, an even performance in the Japan Turf Cup, although that was a race where he was kind of in behind horses and had to alter course down to the inside late. I just want a fair pace, because he doesn't have a lot of speed, but I think he has a lot of upside.
I agree with all that stuff, and we'll see if he can get, the win at Saratoga 2 back. He was so far out of it. They didn't go fast that day. He just got a brilliant ride from Jose Ortiz to get him on the move at the right time. And he did there. I didn't think he ran poorly at all last time, Dan. I think he fits really well in this race.
Focus group, I guess, is the class of the race. I'm not sure if I would take him at an 8-5 morning line. He won the Pan Am earlier this year, but he got a perfect ride from Arad Ortiz that day, just shooting up the rail to win it. We thought a lot of this horse towards the end of his 4-year-old campaign, and I just wonder if he's underperformed in some spots. He's been placed in a couple of tough ones. Last time out was the Northern Dancer, and surprisingly in this short field, there was a big pace. It helped the odds-on winner, Old Persian, who's just a better European horse. But I was disappointed that Focus Group on the far outside couldn't claim second from Nessie.
I was too. Overall, I am a little disappointed in him this year because I did really like him last year. I thought he was, all set to at least win a couple of really nice races this year. I guess he hasn't run poorly, Dan. It just hasn't turned out to be as good as I thought. I'm kind of with you. He can win this race. I wouldn't take too short a price on him.
I think the number 6 Postulation is an interesting alternative because he has a little bit of tactical speed, and it appears he's come back firing as a 7-year-old for Michael Matz. His seasonal debut, the Precious Passion Stakes, was off of a long layoff, and he was under a very confident ride under Paco Lopez, and he won comfortably. Last time out in the Japan Turf Cup, we're going to watch that race right now. He is on the outside attacking in second, while Nakamura is sort of in behind horses and is going to end up, he's angling to the outside, Nakamura, then he's going to alter course back towards the rail. Postulation tries hard. This was a good effort second time back. And again, he might be able to get the jump on Nakamura once more.
Yeah, he really does have good tactical speed. I thought he's run well in each of his last 2 races. It's sort of nice to see him maybe getting back into form because he looked like he was on the cusp of something really good at the end of 2017. And then nothing really happened for him last year. It seems like he's back in good form now. He can get a good trip in this race.
My Boy Jack is the number 7. He is a multiple graded stakes winner on dirt. Coming out of a salty edition of the Grade 3 Kentucky Turf Cup, Arklow, the runner-up in that race, came back to win the Grade 1 Joe Hirsch with a 104 Beyer. He's heading to the Breeders' Cup Turf. In that race, My Boy Jack, kind of far back early, crept up along the inside, in a bit tight late. He's a horse, though, that needs a lot of pace up front.
I don't know if this race is going to set up the right way for him. Last time, that field was just too good for him, Dan. He wasn't going to beat those horses. I actually felt like his race 2 back was a pretty nice performance. They didn't go fast in front of him. He was really the only one making up ground at the end. He just missed. I thought he ran well in that race. Does he have to improve? Yes, but he's going to be a price in this race. I'm going to use this horse. Like
My Boy Jack, the number 8 Blended Citizen is a multiple graded stakes winner on the main track. And like My Boy Jack, he comes out of the Kentucky Turf Cup. Now, he was much closer to the pace that day, and he was really hard ridden with about 3.5 furlongs left to go. I wonder if he just didn't really care for the ground at Kentucky Downs. He just finished evenly. He is improving from a Beyer speed figure standpoint. I don't know. I kind of like this horse on the main track.
I kind of feel the same way about him. I like him as a horse. I think I like him better as a dirt horse. His last 2 races, they're okay. He got wired 2 back by Acclimate. Again, he wasn't going to win that race last time. I don't know, Dan. I couldn't talk myself into him.
Zoomer D was coming off of a little bit of a layoff last time out at Colonial for Michael Stidham. All in all, I thought he had a good trip. He saved ground every step of the way. He shot up the rail turning into the stretch. And an okay horse, Manitoulin, was just a little bit better than him. He should be sharper, second off the layoff. He's just paired up Beyer tops, but he needs another step up from on the Beyer scale into the 90s if he's going to upset these.
I felt like he did have to improve. Boy, that race in April over this track and distance, though, I know it was only an allowance race. He ran well in that race. He really finished strong. They settled him early. He came with a good run to contention, and he took it over late. I thought he ran well there. I don't know if it makes him a contender in here, but he's got some upside.
And I agree. And again, that last race at 9 furlongs just seemed like a prep run for the stretch out here. The 10 is Marzo. What an intriguing story he's been. A $1 million Keeneland September yearling who was claimed by who else? Michael Maker for 62.5 2 starts back. This horse just missed for the 80. And again, Maker excels stretching these horses out in distance. He's going to try to stretch Marzo out. And maybe Marzo will be forwardly placed as time form says.
Yeah, listen, we've seen this before from Maker. He didn't run that poorly last time. He's got a couple of figures that put him in the mix. Maker feels like he's going to stretch out, I believe.
Yeah, all in all, he got a good trip from the rail last time out, saving ground, but he did have to alter course to the 4-path late, and it looked like he was rolling late. Note that Florent Giroux is injured. He won't ride. Ricardo Santana Jr. will have the mount. Golden Dragon I could see on the lead, stretching all the way out from a 7.5 furlong race at Arlington, a race in which he just got his nose down to win in optional claiming competition. Again, a gigantic step up in class.
I can see them trying to make the lead from the outside post. After that, he's not a horse I could really get that interested in.
Let's take a look at our top selection for the Grade 3 Sycamore Stakes. Nakamura made a believer out of us at Saratoga. I thought he ran well enough last time out at Laurel. And again, you give him a little bit of a pace. I think he's going to come running. I still believe he has a little bit of upside. I went 4, 5, 10, and 3.
Yeah, I'm with you on Nakamura. I think he could take a step forward here. And I'm also going to use a little bit of My Boy Jack at a price. I went 4.75.
It is the Grade 3 Sycamore Stakes, your DRF Bets race of the day for Thursday, October the 17th. And it has an approximate post time of 4:57 Eastern. Best of luck.